Welcome to the LGBTQ Real Estate Podcast, connecting homebuyers, sellers, and real estate professionals sharing the best of their local community. It's a pleasure today to welcome Daniel Brooks, a realtor from the Portland Metro, Oregon area. Daniel, I know you have a lot of great passion for helping the LGBT community buy and sell homes. We've been working together for some time now. It's great to have you on the show. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
A pleasure. A pleasure. So, our show is typically 15 minutes. We have respect for your time and everyone watching this. Let's get started.
Awesome.
Share with us a little bit about yourself, both personally and professionally.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm Daniel. I'm in the Portland, Oregon area. I moved to the US in 2014 from Birmingham in England, and then started in real estate in 2015. Kind of a interesting choice. I feel like when I moved here, I didn't know the area, and I knew about 3 people who couldn't afford to buy homes, but decided to kind of jump in. And real estate was something that I was always curious on, and decided to jump into in 2015. And now here we are 10 years later. I have been in the same area selling homes for the last 10 years here, and now I'm principal broker and sales manager for the brokerage I'm at, and that I'm at currently.
Wow, well, time really flies, and congratulations on that success. It looks like you jumped in and you're doing well. Well, that's
It's
great.
been going good.
And I know from working with you for some time now, you have many LGBTQ clients. What is it about working with the LGBTQ community that you enjoy so much?
So I think it's such an important process that someone goes through when they're buying and selling a home. And it's really important that buyers and sellers work with an agent who is competent and really good at what they do, but also someone that they just feel really comfortable with. And I think that's really important to me, that I can kind of be a safe space and we're comfortable with each other, and we have to spend a lot of time together, right? Like looking at homes and going through the process of buying or selling a home. So I think that's just really important to me, making sure that people have representation from somebody that they feel comfortable with and feel like they are, their best interests are being looked after, for sure.
Well, what a great answer, because that's what we're all about. And I hope someone that's watching this podcast that may be looking to buy or sell in the Metro Portland area will reach out to Daniel, because he's here to assist you, and with that personal touch that you need because real estate can be very personal.
Yeah, exactly. Like I say, it's such a big process for most people, and one of the most expensive things people will ever buy, and it's a really important decision. And I kind of come from a place of, I like to make sure that my clients know everything, like know all the options they have, right? Like know all the things that go into a contract, know all the things that go into this process, so that they can make really good decisions that they feel really comfortable and happy with. And so at the end of the day, they either end up buying a home that they're super happy with, or having a great experience while selling.
Well said. Well, I know you're very passionate about living in Portland, and what a pretty place, the nature. There's so much to love about Portland. Share with us about a couple of minutes what you love about living in Portland. For example, what are your favorite parts of the city? It may be the arts, the dining, great coffee shops, wine bars, ease of commuting, schools, place of worship. What's on your mind?
It's kind of everything, right? When I moved to the US, I kind of imagined myself living in California at some point on the coast, something like that. And then the more time I spent in Portland, the more I just kind of fell in love with it. I love how, I always say, the city is big enough that there's always something to do and there's always something going on, but it's not overwhelming. The pace of life is really good here, compared to, other big cities that we have on the West Coast. I love that you can drive 20 minutes out and be in the middle of the forest, hiking, and waterfalls and nature and all that kind of stuff is right on the doorstep. Some of my favorite areas in Portland, like I love the Mount Tabor area. Mount Tabor Park is beautiful. There's so much to do and see in the city. The food, I think, is the best food I've had kind of anywhere. I travel pretty frequently and struggle to find a food scene as good as Portland has. And we kind of
got tired of the fish and chips in the UK, right?
I mean, I would love a good fish and chip shop.
Of
If
course.
there was one of those, that would be fantastic.
We all do.
And we kind of cater to everybody. My parents are vegan, and so when they visit, there's always like fantastic vegan food to check out, and some really notable good restaurants and things like that. So it's fantastic.
That sounds great. That sounds great. Well, everyone loves good food. That's important. A good
Mhm.
diet. Yeah, it goes good to balance with nature.
Right,
And
you get to work out a little bit after all the restaurants. So
yeah, yeah, go hiking like you said, right?
exactly, yeah,
Awesome. Well, this is a real estate podcast. So let's talk about the diverse housing stock in your community.
yeah.
For example, single family, maybe lake homes out in nature, condominiums downtown. I imagine you deal with a little bit of everything, but not necessarily what's on the market today because, of course, the inventory is always changing.
Mhm. Yeah, so you're right. We have a very diverse kind of inventory here. Everything from downtown living in downtown Portland and the Pearl District is really popular. That is definitely more kind of a condo scene down there. Um,
Hmm.
and then up to log cabins up in the mountains and everything in between, right? So a lot of people moving here are looking for that single family home. We have a lot of people moving here still from bigger cities where they've kind of had that condo life in the past. So we definitely cater to that. But then also, there's a lot more infill projects now, which is making, that's, affordability is a big word, but
Mm.
making options available for people who are maybe looking for their starter home. There's a lot of infill construction right now, which is really helping people kind of get their foot on the ladder of being a property owner. Um, so yeah, super varied. And then we have areas like Lake Oswego, just outside of the city, where you can get, multi-million dollar properties right on the lake, if that's more your scene.
Wow. Yeah, it sounds nice. I've just seen so many beautiful photos, and I've never been to Portland. It's kind of on my bucket list.
Right.
But yeah, and it's close to Washington State, right?
Yeah, we're right on the border. So
Hmm.
a lot of people, when they're searching for homes, they will be looking in Portland, in Oregon, but then you can also cross the river to Vancouver and kind of
Yeah.
take a look there as well. We're maybe 20 minutes out from Vancouver. Um, a lot of us, like myself included, are licensed in both Oregon and Washington. So we have people
Ah,
crossing the river
okay.
pretty
So there you
frequently.
go. For someone that's watching this, Daniel is also licensed in Washington.
Yeah, yeah.
Great, great. Okay, so let's pretend we're watching this podcast. What should LGBTQ individuals and families who are considering moving to Portland or Washington know about the community and its welcomingness of LGBTQ families?
Yeah, I would say I think we're pretty known for being very welcoming to the LGBT community.
Hmm.
I think one thing that really stands out to me is it's kind of funny because we don't have like a gay neighborhood, right? Because the whole city is kind of very accepting, and I think I personally find myself just as comfortable in a dive bar here in Portland than I do on a specifically LGBTQ restaurant or bar kind of scene. I think I just think it's kind of very widely open and accepting of people, and that really is demonstrating the fact that we don't have specific areas where you're going to feel safe and accepted. I think that's pretty much throughout the city. You kind of feel like
That's
that. So
awesome. And going back 10 years ago, we would have been talking about the neighborhood or like the
exactly,
neighborhood,
yeah,
the east side and but thankfully, times have changed and
yeah,
there's that's great. That's great.
yeah,
So
and there's still a
that's
really
really
good sense of
important.
community too, right? There definitely are, the gay bars are still there, so there's definitely that sense of community too. But I just
Yeah,
think it's really nice that you can kind of walk in most places and feel pretty comfortable.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, everybody's welcome, right?
exactly, exactly.
Great. Well, we did really well on time here. We're down to our last question, and it's besides helping people buy and sell homes when you're not working, what are your favorite things to do?
Um, you know, there's so much to do in Portland that is fantastic. I definitely, as I mentioned, I'm kind of a foodie, so the restaurants are always great. I love to get out there and hike and explore nature as well. I have two rescue dogs, Charlie and Chester, so they take up a lot of my time.
Very
We
nice.
are dog people. There's so many places in Portland to take your pets and to take your dogs. We have Thousand Acres, which is this open huge acreage where the dogs can kind of run free and play in the river and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, usually a lot of my spare time is spent, either exploring restaurants or spending time with my family and friends here.
That sounds really nice. And what's your preference of food? Like, what are your favorites?
I'm pretty open to most. We have a really good like Thai food, like a lot of fusion food here, which is
Ooh,
fantastic. A lot of kind of innovative fusion restaurants, which is always awesome to check out. But you can get pretty much like, I mean, not every cuisine, but like most cuisines are pretty catered to here, which is nice.
that sounds great. That sounds great. Well, it was a pleasure having you on the show.
I appreciate it.
Uh, yeah, again, for anyone watching this, Daniel's information is right there on the screen. And of course, we'll have a link so you can link directly to his website and email, which will be in the description of this video. And it's a wrap.
Awesome.
Daniel, thank you. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you on YouTube.
That sounds great. Thank you so much.
A pleasure. Thank you.